What's up, Internet? You already know me is DJ Tricey Trice, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Post Up, where I run my mouth about sports live every Friday at 5 PST, because you know I'm out west. What a time to be alive, sports fans. There are so many different leagues that are running right now. It's so much to watch. We got some good things to talk about today. First of all, big shouts out to all the WNBA fans who have been rocking with us the whole season, rocking with me the whole season through LA Sparks Weekly, through my YouTube channel, just following the clips, showing so much love. I just love the love around the WNBA. Women's basketball is on fire. It's very competitive and something that's close to my heart. So big shouts out to all of y'all for just sticking around for the WNBA playoffs. So right now we're in the semifinals, y'all. Let's start out with the game that's on right now. And I got it right here on in my studio. In case you see my eyes glance over here, I'm just checking the score, making sure everything is going as planned. The Connecticut Sun and the Lynx game is on right now on ESPN2. And the series is tied 1-1 best of 5. The Sun and the Lynx, they are fighting. I'm not sure which way this is going to go. I got my money on the Sun. I bet on them on September 29th, my birthday. Ooh, past Sunday. And my bet hit, of course, because they took that first game. But then the Lynx came and fought back for the second game. My take on this series and what I'm noticing is that the mid-season pickups are really making a difference for these two teams. What do you mean by that, Treese? I mean that Maisha Hines-Allen on the Minnesota Lynx, and I mean that Marina Mabrey on the Connecticut Sun are the determining factors in this series right now. They've just added a little bit of sauce to these teams that we haven't been seeing this whole season. You gotta love the kind of basketball that's being played. Maisha Hines-Allen is coming off the bench. Marina Mabrey is starting, but she starts hot. She scored the first 2 baskets for the Lynx there. And she's on fire from 3-point range. So I'm excited to see how this shakes out, because my original plan for the Connecticut Sun were that they were going to be in the finals. That might be changing. If the Lynx, I didn't know Maisha Hines-Allen was going to be on the Lynx. She got traded mid-season from the Mystics. So I'm not sure how that's going, but it is very physical basketball. So definitely tune into that series if you haven't had a chance to catch a game. Following that game is going to be the Aces versus the Liberty, y'all. I've been rooting for the Aces for the three-peat. I don't ever want to vote against Asia. I'm excited to see if she puts her team on her back right now, because they are facing elimination tonight. I'm especially excited to see how Becky Hammon responds with her coaching, because that's going to have to make a difference tonight. Becky, you got to really do something different and be imaginative with your team, because they know that everybody's going for Asia tonight. Kia Stokes is out because she has a concussion. I don't think that really will make that much of a difference with this matchup. Not saying that Kia isn't that great of a player. It's just the specific matchup that we're talking about. But tonight, Asia Wilson is going to have to put the team on her back. This is one of those games where Asia's going to have to drop a 30 to 40 piece. She's going to have to stop Stewie. We're going to have to make sure Nescu don't get hot in order to win, unless the Aces are going to be knocked out in this round. That'll be a huge upset. Nobody wants to see the champs get eliminated in the semifinals, but a three-peat is hard. It's hard, y'all. And that's why it hasn't happened for many, many years in any level of professional sports. So that game is right after this game that's on right now, the Suns versus the Lynx. Tune in to ESPN2. It's happening. If you in some place that I don't know about and don't got ESPN or whatever, check the WNBA app. I'm not sure if it's there, but it'll tell you how to tune into the game. Let's move on to the expansion draft, y'all. The WNBA is getting a brand new team. The Golden State Warriors now have a sister team, I like to call them, the Golden State Valkyrie. And a lot of people in the WNBA have been asking how this is going to work. We haven't got a new team in a little bit, so we wanted to see how they were going to structure the draft. Of course, this was always subject to change by the WNBA, but we officially have word of how the expansion draft works. I'm just going to go through this with y'all. First of all, the date is December 6th on ESPN. So the expansion draft is actually before the actual WNBA draft, which is great news for me, because it's looking like the Sparks are going to get that number 1 pick. And my God, I hope we get Paige. I hope we get Paige. Paige, come on to LA. I seen her. If you follow her on Instagram, she talk about how she go to games and entertainment events in LA and then be back in class in Connecticut the next morning. Love that for you, girl. By Coastal Bay, come on over to the LA Sparks. We need a great point guard to add to our roster. But enough of that Paige talk. The expansion draft is on December 6th, ESPN. The Golden State Valkyries will be allowed to draft one player from each of the 12 teams in the W. They're going to be able to draft one player from each of our teams. Now, teams can strategically look and play that hand because it says every organization is allowed to protect 6 players from being selected from their team. These players will not be available to the Valkyrie draft, and the list of protected players will not be made public by the WNBA. So we won't even know who the protected players are. And I'm guessing they are not doing that because there would be anarchy. Imagine you being a player and you think that your organization is going to protect you. And then they put out on the internet that you're not protected. You can go. You can have your walking papers. I mean, that's just a Davante Adams situation waiting to happen. But we'll wait to talk about Davante a little bit later in the episode. So the protected list won't be public, and they get one member from every team. So they'll have 12 members that they can draft from other teams. That's the poaching. When Golden State selects an unprotected player, they will either take on the player's contract or the negotiating rights for said player. So for teams who have people who got heavy contracts that they're not sure that they want to fulfill, this will be a great time to just unprotect them, let them go and be a new franchise player with the Valkyrie up in the Bay. All right. And it says the Valkyries will also be allowed a short trade window prior to the draft. So my thing is you got the draft, then they're going to start trading players based on contracts. This offseason is going to be a movie. Mind you, this is December 6th, right before the new Unrivaled League starts, okay? So before that new 3-on-3 league starts that Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart have put together, we have a whole situation of you might be on the Valkyrie unprotected, and then they trade you somewhere else. I'm so excited. And then we get 2 new expansion teams after that, going to Toronto. And then I think the location still hasn't been named for that third one, but I think we're hoping for Houston. I gotta check on that. Double check me in the comments if I'm not correct on that. But the Valkyrie have an extremely great opportunity to pick some great talent from the WNBA's active roster. And let's not forget players like Odyssey Sims and Monique Billings, just great players who didn't get a roster spot and were bouncing around on hardship contracts. This creates a wonderful opportunity for them to join a new team. Really excited about this expansion draft. I will keep you updated. Make sure you subscribe to all of my stuff on socials because I'll be dropping clips, but you can always, of course, catch me here on Friday to recap my whole week of what I talked about in sports. Let's move on and talk about what's going on with all these WNBA coaches. Now, if you've been under a rock, let me just catch you up real quick. Since the season ended, the regular season ended, Coach Curt Miller of the LA Sparks, I got much love for Curt, y'all already know around here, was it didn't officially say that he was let go. It says that the team and the coach decided to go different ways. So Curt is no longer with the Sparks. Teaspoon was fired from the Chicago Sky, let go from the Chicago Sky, right? Huge shocker. All the players were in an uproar because she was only there for 1 season. And then just recently announced Tanisha Wright from the Atlanta Dream, after 3 years being there, has been let go as well. So we have 3 WNBA teams who don't have coaches. There might be a little bit of coach swap there. I'm not sure if Curt will end up in Atlanta, which I hope he gets a gig in the WNBA. He's so passionate, been in there for over 35 years. Same with Tanisha Wright. I just think, maybe the Atlanta roster, she wasn't the right fit to bring that group into fruition. Whereas Curt Miller is used to working with already developed players, and Tanisha Wright is a little bit more of working with underdeveloped players. So she might work better with a younger team like the LA Sparks. But before I do that, in what world is it possible that the LA Sparks hire Teresa Weatherspoon and we get Kennedy Carter to come home to LA, Hollywood. Where you at, girl? That would be the perfect marrying of the two. Bring Kennedy home, bring Teaspoon over here. We know she has the legacy, the planning, the player development. She's been on all levels of it. Would be excited to see that. I'm not sure how that'll work or if they already got a candidate in mind, but what a media powerhouse that would be to have Teaspoon and then bring Kennedy Carter home with that young team with Rickea Jackson and all those things. I just think that would be a phenomenal idea and really is the best case scenario for me. Let me take a quick, shameless plug for the Liquid Death out there. All right, y'all. Speculating about the coaches, of course, I will keep you updated. Let's move on to a rookie, Rickea Jackson, LA Sparks, all rookie team. We already knew it was going to happen. Big key, not the little one. Shouts out to Rickea Jackson for getting an all rookie first team selection. We didn't expect anything else. She has been doing a phenomenal job at developing throughout the season, being the spark for the Sparks on offense and defense, playing some deep minutes later in the season too. So for a rookie, phenomenal job. Rickea Jackson, you deserve all the accolades. Big shouts out to Rickea. Let's talk some NFL, y'all. Now, this is my first year in Raider Nation for those of y'all that are just tuned in. So I am a freshman in Raider Nation. It's very stressful, but the Raiders did win on Sunday, which helped my betting on my birthday. I won both my bets, the Connecticut Sun bet and the Raiders. I did straight bets just for wins. I wasn't getting into parlays and all that. But the biggest news is Davante Adams has said that he wants to part ways with the team. And here is my take. Let him go. There's nothing more that I dislike than a workplace drama. You feel me? When you want to quit your job, people let you quit your job. When you know it's not a fit, you know it's not a fit. Ain't nobody down at the Amazon trying to tell you to stay up in there. You feel me? Let this man go. Let him go. We can develop a young team. Yes, it is a hit. It's sounding like I've been watching a lot of First Take and all the ESPN shows and stuff that's out and a lot of different commentators. And it sounded like he's going to end up with the Jets. If that happens, that happens. Let's see who we got. Let's actually ask the team that we have to step up and just see. We know we're not a championship contending team anyway right now. Let's see how many wins we can get with the roster that we got. Now, when AP got on the mic and said, guys have made business decisions, so we're going to make business decisions. And I saw that Davante Adams was out with a hamstring injury. I was like, this is seeming like it's dramatic. And then AP got caught liking a tweet about Davante Adams leaving the Raiders. And Davante said, I ain't going to ask him about it. And then the next day, he basically said, I want to trade. So the Raiders are having to accommodate Davante Adams in whatever way. My guess is because they just don't want to double down on Davante for his next year's salary. It's pretty hefty. And with the production that they got so far or where they feel like the team is and where they are growing, they probably just don't want to continue with Davante Adams. Let him go. Let his career go in any way that he wants it to go, because if he's not going to play like he's happy about being here, how great and productive of a player is he going to be anyway? So that's my 2 cents on Davante Adams. Now let's talk about our upcoming matchup on Sunday with the Broncos. I'll be watching this game from my little phone because I'll be on date night with my wife at the beach. But, a little bit of phone, out. I'm actually, I might take my iPad to the beach, just hanging out and watching it on the sun, in the sun is a great experience. Both teams, us and the Broncos, are 2-2, and there's nothing more that I would like for Sean Payton to lose. Okay, the way that he treated Russ, I ain't like all that hollering and carrying on the sidelines and all that. I don't want the Broncos to win at all. I forecast we win. I'm excited. I think a lot of people with this Davante Adams drama are going to step up and play better. Hopefully, we come out on top and continue the season 3-2. Big shouts out to all of Raider Nation who have been so welcoming and accommodating and commenting on my stuff and showing me love and introducing me to the culture. I had such a good time in Vegas, y'all. I went to Raiders Image, their store that's on the Strip, got me a little merch, got that chain back there that you see on the wall now. So got me a little decorative piece for the studio to add to it. Been having such a great time just learning the team. Again, I did a lot of research for years trying to decide what team, because I needed to see was I going to be into football? It's very different. Like I'm Lakers all the way, Sparks all the way, because I've been a huge fan of both of those teams for a very long time. But NFL, I'm impartial. I'm from Chicago. I'm like, all right, whatever. I lived in Indianapolis, went to some Colts games. Whatever. I feel a connection with Raider Nation fans. I like their intensity. I like how hard they go. So I'm joining the fold. Thank you for welcoming me. It's been a great time. Finishing up the show, y'all. Let's talk about my Lakers preseason predictions. You heard it here first. I think that this season the Lakers are going to win a championship. Pause for your laughter, because I say this every year, but my reasoning this year is different. Seeing LeBron and Bronny at Media Day unlocks a new level of emotional resilience. I think that we are going to see some of the most inspired basketball that we've seen from LeBron in a very long time, simply because of his emotional connection with his son. To all of y'all haters out there that's already talking about the narrative of Bronny and Bron, it's beautiful to see. How can you not want to see this storyline play out? I think LeBron, AD, they got a lot to prove. LeBron has taken worse teams to championships. Karl Anthony Towns got traded to the New York Knicks, and they asked him about the greatest player in the NBA. He said, LeBron James. Let's be serious. My man is in year 22, and I couldn't agree more. The Lakers are going all the way simply because LeBron has the willpower to do so. Imagine him giving his son a championship and sharing that experience. I think it can be possible. Our roster is not terrible. JJ, I think, is a great leader. He's been in so many tough spots. Being coached by Doc Rivers, I mean, on that Clippers team, talk about being in a rock and a hard place. That's really rocking a hard place back then. So I think we got a lot of clean slate feeling. It's probably feeling so good. Things are feeling different there. I feel different about the Lakers going into this season. Check back in with me a couple weeks into it. Of course, we're going to stay patient through Christmas and this new in-season tournament and just feel it out. But I feel so great about the Lakers simply because the vibes got to be high with Bron and Bronny. That was my last topic, but I got one wild card since I brought up Karl Anthony Towns. The Karl Anthony Towns trade. Karl Anthony Towns, for y'all, if you don't know, left the Minnesota Timberwolves and has been traded to the New York Knicks in exchange for Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. I was excited to see them Villanova boys ball. But I also feel Donte on saying, I'm not going back to the bench. I want to play a contributing role to the team that I'm in, because he was playing extended minutes for the Knicks, and they didn't do bad last season. They had a solid squad. So I can see his frustration with bringing in these other people. And now you got OG and you got Mikal Bridges coming through. All of these people, is like, all right, now it's kind of stacks. His minutes might reduce. So he probably wanted to go play a larger role in Minnesota. Here's my take on that trade. I don't think either team got better. I think that the players are just better fits for the organizations. I think Karl Anthony Towns, being in Minnesota so long, he was playing phenomenal last season, but you hit that kind of fatigue you in year 8, year 9 with an organization. He has something to prove in New York. Also, his girlfriend, Jordan Woods, is a model. She's in New York. They just bought a home in LA, New York, LA, bi-coastal living. There are a lot of people who are doing that already. It's not too far-fetched. I think the New Yorkers and people in the Garden will give him that competitive edge that we haven't seen from him in Minnesota. I think that Julius Randle might be a bust. I think he's going to play all right, but I don't know how he's going to gel with Rudy Gobert. I do think Donte DiVincenzo gives more support to an Ant-Man. That's it. That's all. I'm not saying nobody won, nobody lost, because I think it's truly a wash, and I'm excited to see how either one of those players, either one of those teams, who takes the Eastern Conference, because it's stacked in the East. You got the Celtics. You got the 76ers now with PG being over there. There's a lot going on. I'm excited for Eastern Conference basketball. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this week's episode of The Post Up. Remember, I'm live every Friday at 5 PST, because I'm out west. I'm talking all sports, running my mouth about sports. Make sure you follow me on all social medias at DJ Tricey Trice. That's DJ TRICEY. Thank y'all so much. And I'll be hanging out on YouTube all week. So tap in with me there, and I will see y'all next week.